So it was July morning in 1961. 38 players of the Green Bay Packers assembled for their first day of training camp. The team had been reflecting on that crushing loss throughout the offseason and were determined to take strides toward winning the NFL championship this season. However, Vince Lombardi had another plan in mind. He began his session by holding up a football and issuing one single statement. This is a football. So in his best-selling book, When Pride Still Mattered, A Life of Vince Lombardi, author David Moranis explains what happened when Lombardi walked into training camp in the summer of 1961. He took nothing for granted. He began a tradition of starting from scratch, assuming that the players were blank slates who carried over no knowledge from the year before. He began the most elemental statement of all. "Gentlemen," he said, holding this pigskin in his right hand, "this is a football." But under Coach Lombardi's guidance, that Green Bay Packer team remained steadfast in their commitment to perfecting even the most fundamental aspects of football. Now, every player thoroughly studied how to block and how to tackle and how to stand in their stances. No detail was too small for Lombardi's relentless attention. So even Pro Bowler Max McGee commented with lighthearted humor that they were progressing a bit quickly. However, this didn't deter Coach Lombardi from continuing on his mission as a leader on what would become one of the history's greatest teams. Now, fast forward 6 months later, that determined work paid off when they trounced the Giants 37-0 en route to winning the NFL championship. It just goes to show hard work leads triumphantly toward success. Now, my friends, true growth means always going back to the fundamentals. Growth doesn't necessarily mean making the biggest strides and achieving your highest expectations right away. Instead, true growth means going back to the fundamentals, going back to the basics, and having a good base of knowledge that you can build on upon each day as you progress in your careers. That's why coming to morning rounds every morning with me is just that one step you can do. For busy professionals who are used to taking on more responsibility every day and celebrating their successes along the way, it is easy to forget that sometimes taking one step back is essential for 2 steps forward. And in this video, we're going to explore why revisiting those basics once in a while is beneficial for professional development and address how doctors and other high performers can best go about doing so. Now, everybody wants to experience personal growth, yet actually achieving it can be easier said than done. Now, achieving true growth is like unlocking a door. The only way to open it is to understand the fundamentals that drive it. And this can include understanding your motivation, setting tangible goals, exploring different avenues, and actively engaging in self-development activities. And this could be things such as reading or taking online courses or investing in high-performance coaching. Taking these steps toward growth will lead you onto a journey of continual learning and discovery that will develop skills and confidence necessary to create long-term success and fulfillment. Now, to break through those barriers that stand in your way, remember that understanding the fundamentals is key no matter what journey you pursue. Now that is a tall ask, but it's an important ask. Achieving sustained success isn't an easy task. The path can be riddled with distractions, exhaustion, and really confusion at times as we try to make our way toward those goals. And it's natural to want to quit, to want quick results, or to feel like progress is being made immediately. But one of the most important aspects of long-term success is regularly revisiting those basics. This means varying things like your workouts or returning to basic exercises, making sure your form is correct, and things like concepts in order to stay on track. Taking the time to reevaluate your goals and you break them out into achievable tasks and to return the idea that got you started will sustain that progress you're looking for, even when forming habits feels difficult. Now, keeping up good practice and revisiting the basics whenever necessary for true lasting success. Now, be mindful of the details and don't take shortcuts. Paying attention to the details of a project is essential for producing high quality work. By taking the time to focus on the details, you can create a well thought out and a professional final product. Now, activity takes more than time up front, but it shortens the process over the long run. Taking shortcuts in a project, for example, may seem like it's a way to save you time at the very moment, but they are not necessarily reliable and often leads to having to do extra work to complete or even redo the whole thing that you were trying to do in the first place. Be mindful of details and resist the quick solutions, and that's going to ensure your excellence. Now, to create a culture of learning and improvement in your group or in your family, it's essential that everyone feels empowered to do so. So I want you to encourage individuals to really step outside of their comfort zone and take risks with trying out new ideas or tackling problems with different angles. Now, celebrate the successes and lessons that we've learned, but instead of viewing mistakes as defeats, foster an attitude of learning from the experience. I want you to show the people that you work with how the knowledge that they build contributes to the betterment of the group or the organization or the department. Role model that behavior that you want to see within your group or your clinic or your operating room. But things like offer your guidance and your coaching. With an atmosphere built on perseverance and collaboration and growth, an enriching environment where everyone can learn together will emerge. But again, taking on the challenge of setting and striving for realistic yet ambitious goals can be incredibly rewarding. That's why going to the fundamentals is so important. It's an opportunity to push yourself out of your comfort zone and expand your horizons, because when we start going through our careers, we forget the fundamentals, my friends. And I want you to challenge yourself to go back to those fundamentals and challenge yourself to do so, because you're going to become more confident in your abilities, but you can reach newer goals because you've kind of just strengthened that foundation that you've built upon. And if you're feeling intimidated by the idea of setting such high standards for yourself, remember that this type of activity takes time, it takes practice, and it takes dedication. But I don't want you to be discouraged if your progress is slow, because again, we go so far down that rabbit hole of our career that we forget it's the fundamentals that got us to where we are. So establish a process that's going to help you stay focused on the task at hand. Staying focused on the task at hand can be incredibly difficult, especially when there are so many distractions around you. But develop a process where at least once a week you focus on the fundamentals. So for us in medicine, it could be, let's review the basics of doing a fundamental exam, a basic exam, or let's go back and review how to review this image or how to review this EKG. Know that motivation comes in ways, but if you make it a priority to establish a process where we kind of go back to the fundamentals, it's going to trade chaos for peace with you down the road. But in the end, my friends, true progress and success really comes through your dedication. It comes through patience. It comes through hard work and a willingness to learn and to go back to the fundamentals. We need to strive to identify our strength and our weaknesses before embarking on new initiatives. Here's a good example. Neurology is a aspect of medicine that I love, but it's one that I have to keep going back to the fundamentals and keep reviewing. And it's the attention to these details that I find that I've been most successful as a physician. It's essential to create an environment that encourages learning and improvement so that we all can achieve better results over time. And going back to the fundamentals and almost kind of forcing yourself to schedule that time to go back to focusing on things like, how do I read a medical journal article? Going back to the fundamentals is going over through how to adequately look at statistical analysis. Making sure you hold yourself accountable for working toward this is going to give you your best chance of achieving overwhelming success, which is what I want for you. And if you need a little help on how to get from where you are right now, or how to break through that plateau that you may be at right now, I'm a certified high-performance coach. And if high-performance coaching is for you, or quite frankly, if you want to know what high-performance coaching is, make sure you click the link which is right beside this video. And I want you to get on my calendar for a free 1-hour strategy session just for you. But until tomorrow, my friends, I'm going to see you right back here for another morning rounds. Before your morning rounds, I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.